Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you enjoy history with a darker edge, stay right here. Because today, we begin something special. A series called Dark Leonardo, Stories About Genius, and the Shadows Behind That Genius. So hit follow, hit subscribe, because this journey will get darker and stranger than you expect. Today's question is simple, but unsettling. Why did Leonardo da Vinci hide his own inventions? He did not lose them. He did not forget them. Time did not erase them. He hid them on purpose. And what he hid tells us who he really was, and what he feared most. What could scare Leonardo da Vinci? A man who studied everything, from anatomy to engineering, from painting to philosophy. What could make him lock away his own ideas? He imagined flying machines centuries before airplanes. He sketched armored vehicles long before engines existed. He designed mechanical beings long before the world had a word for robot. But some inventions he never revealed, not to kings, not to rivals, not even to history. Today, we uncover the first of those secrets. At the end of the 15th century, Leonardo worked for the Duke of Milan, Ludovico Sforza, a ruthless warlord, a man who wanted every advantage in battle. Leonardo was hired as a military engineer, but he did not think like other engineers. While others built giant crossbows and heavy cannons, Leonardo looked somewhere no one else did. He looked beneath the surface, into the water, into the dark. He designed a diving machine, not a sketch for fun, not a curious idea, but a complete underwater system. A suit made of leather, a breathing tube reaching the surface, an air bladder for emergencies, a pressure balancing mechanism, and joints for underwater movement. This was a combat diving system, 500 years ahead of its time. But the most frightening part was a single note right beside the drawing. Do not publish this method, because of the wicked nature of men who would use it to kill one another beneath the sea. This was not a technical issue. This was not a correction. This was not unfinished work. It was a warning, a moral line, a line Leonardo refused to cross. He knew what this invention would become, a way to kill silently, in total darkness, without honor, without defense, without mercy. He hid it. To understand his fear, we must see his world. Italy was not a peaceful place. It was divided into violent city-states. Milan, Florence, Venice, Rome, all hungry for power, all ready to kill for it. Leonardo served dangerous men. Ludovico Sforza, cold, calculating, relentless, and Cesare Borgia, one of the most ruthless figures in Renaissance history. A man feared by everyone, a man who could inspire a modern villain. Leonardo knew exactly what these men wanted: power, fear, victory, at any cost. Now imagine giving them underwater stealth. A diver approaching a ship silently, cutting into the hull, slicing through the rudder ropes, planting explosives, and disappearing into the black water. No one would see anything. No one could stop it. No one could survive it. Leonardo, this was not war. This was murder. Murder without a face. Murder without accountability. He said no, and he hid the design. But the story becomes stranger, much stranger, because the diving machine was only one piece. When scholars examined Leonardo's notebooks, they found something disturbing. More than 75% of his writings were gone, missing, vanished from history, and the parts that disappeared were not random. What survived? Anatomy, painting, astronomy, mathematics. What vanished? Secret weapons, sabotage devices, underwater attack systems, dangerous chemical designs, and inventions too far ahead of the world. Some pages were torn out perfectly clean, as if removed intentionally, not damaged by time, not destroyed by accident. The question rises: did Leonardo remove them, or did someone else do it? We do not know, but we know this: the missing pages contained his most dangerous ideas. Leonardo was not a pure pacifist. He designed weapons, armored vehicles, multi-barreled cannons, giant crossbows, military defenses. So why hide a diving suit? Because of one belief, one principle he refused to break. If war must happen, it must happen in the open, under the sun, not in invisible darkness. Underwater warfare cannot be defended against. It is killing without honor, without warning, without rules. Leonardo once said he wanted to protect humanity from itself. This may be one of the earliest times in history when a creator censored his own invention, not out of fear, but out of ethics. A few scattered pages about the diving device survived. In the Codex Atlanticus, a breathing tube, an air bladder, some sketches of movement mechanisms, but everything important was gone. The construction guide, the pressure calculations, the full suit design, missing. Worse, the pages that remained showed signs of removal. Cut edges, clean tears, empty spaces. This proves one thing. A complete design once existed, and someone ensured it would never be seen. Leonardo's fear was not the ocean, and not the invention. It was humanity. He grew up in betrayal, violence, and war. He knew what people would do if given too much power. Centuries before nuclear scientists faced their own dilemma, Leonardo understood the truth. Just because you can create something does not mean you should. So he answered that question himself. In the 15th century, he hid the invention to protect the world from itself. So why did Leonardo da Vinci hide his invention? Because he did not trust humanity to use it wisely. Not because the technology was confusing, not because he feared failure, not because he doubted himself, but because he believed one thing. Knowledge is power, and power in the wrong hands becomes disaster, and that is the dark story. The invention Leonardo da Vinci buried from history, on purpose. If you want to explore more of his hidden shadows, follow the channel, because episode 2 is coming. Robot Knight 1495, a mechanical warrior that could move, then vanished from history for 400 years. Leave a comment. Who do you think removed the secret pages? Did Leonardo destroy them, or did someone else bury the truth? See you in the next chapter, where the shadows grow even deeper.